Alright, hello friends. I'm Stobbie149 and welcome to Phoenix Point. I've been dead keen to play this for a while. I wanted to play when it came out, but because of various issues, moving house, internet problems, wasn't able to do so. Anyway, Legend. And, well, okay, so what am I going to try to do in this playthrough that you might not have seen from other streamers or YouTubers? Well, it's hard to know. I mean,
The Phoenix Project was founded on October 24th,
we'll get into that in a sec. Let's just check out the little intro video.
The Second War to End All Wars was over, but there were those who understood that we could no longer afford to think in terms of nations and empires. For a time, the Phoenix Project successfully navigated the political conflicts of its era. That was our golden age. Phoenix Project operatives scoured the world for clues. We had bases in 24 countries. Even the heavens were not off limits. But out there, on the far side of the moon, began our downfall. The failure of the Phoenix 2 mission exposed us to our enemies in the UN. Stripped of resources and scattered to the winds, we were reduced to a secret, a memory. When the Pandoravirus woke up, we should have been the first line of defense. When huge clouds of mist appeared over the sea, when people started vanishing, we should have figured out what was going on. And when those people started coming back, changed, hostile, alien, we should have been ready to fight, but we failed. The ecosystem started to change, imperceptibly at first, then faster and faster.
Ugh.
3 factions arose. New Jericho, trying to restore order and purity. Sanhedrin, hoping to build a world without hierarchies. And the disciples of Anu, a new syncretic religion dedicated to adaptation and biological change. At war with the world and at odds with each other, these factions cannot find a way forward. Now the mist is returning and armies are rising from the sea. Without the Phoenix Project, humanity will fall. It's time to rise from the ashes.
Right, Phoenix Point. So, a lot has been said about this game in reviews and whatnot. By the way, hooray for Africa start. Honors done in South Africa. I'm going to take a slightly different approach in the beginning. Right away, I like to get onto a set of Banshee armor, and we'll do another 2 sets of Banshee armor as soon as we can. Reason being that this kind of armor is just terrible. I mean, the jetpack is great, obviously, and the extra armor is nice. But that armor makes you so slow and so inaccurate. It actually lowers accuracy by a total of, what, 30%? Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Point into strength on this guy. Carry a medkit. Sniper carries the other medkit. Bolt troopers carry the 2 nades. Now, in terms of the allies, I really want to try to get allied with New Jericho. I feel like, in terms of the theme of the various factions, New Jericho are just the, I think. They're the closest to a sort of Warhammer-ish Space Marine type of thing. Big guns, shoot the Xenos, purge the unclean. So, I've played like 30 or 40 hours, honestly, so far. One thing I've found, particularly on Legend in the beginning, even if you run into a gathering mission right away, it might not be the right thing to do it. Also, these help the factions missions. You kind of need to wait. This is the clear out the infection of worms mission, which we won't do. We can always come back to it.
Research complete.
What I've found is that I want to give my soldiers time to get these sets of Banshee armor set up. For Disciples of Anu, so food, we'll need 300 and something. Recruit another soldier. It's actually not that difficult, and it is doable, although the tactical nuance of it is debatable, that you can not even fight your first battle till you've got a 5th fully kitted out soldier. I'm going to try to do it, might not be possible. Now, this occurred to me a little while ago when I was playing offline. I noticed that because all these events are randomized, beginning here.
The disciples of Anu were a mystery. Where others saw devastation, They saw hope. Where others saw the end of the world, they saw a new beginning. Their leader called herself the Exalted, and she claimed to believe in humanity. She preached that the human soul was perfect, that the root of our problems was our insufficient evolution. The Pandoravirus was a threat, but it was also an opportunity to change ourselves, to become better humans, to mutate. We knew that humanity needed to adapt. There was no other way to survive. The disciples offered a solution, but what was their end game? There was something beyond their hierarchies and their rituals.
Dodgy fuckers, these guys.
Had a secret.
Don't like them. Don't like them. We want whatever we can to get resources. Quite often in these exploration events here, you can just get random events that give you bonuses, give you resources. It is quite possible to get that 5th soldier or having to fight. Good, we can now recruit soldiers from... None are available as yet. Fine, I need time for this first set of Banshee armor to get used. This first set we are going to throw onto the heavy. I mean, it makes him a heck of a lot less durable, but the plus 30% aim on this giant cannon is just too good. I mean, I tend to find that almost my entire squad wears Banshee armor. And I think that's pretty much what we're going to go for. We're going to go just for straight Banshee armor on everybody to make them admittedly, you know, quite fragile, but a lot more dangerous. And for a long time, I've held the opinion in this sort of game that the best defense is an irresistible offense. The Sinedron Haven of Matawaka is in uproar. For a book. Nature's Dominion is a new philosophical novel by Yevgenia Liu, which depicts humanity's struggle against hierarchies, concluding with the idea that nature itself is the ultimate hierarchy that must be defeated to guarantee humankind's freedom. Some critics accuse the book of advocating human supremacy, an idea the author herself doesn't find problematic in the slightest, gladly calling herself a human. For now, but hang on, so in a democratic society such as Sinedron, such debates can have a real effect on future policy, especially in the current situation. Is the ultimate goal harmony with nature or liberation from the nature? The answer to this question determines not only what Sinedron should do about the Pandoravirus, but also what should be done if humanity ever finds itself in control of this planet again. For now, of course, it's just a discussion about a book, but the citizens of Matawaka are curious. Where does the Phoenix Project stand? Which one is New Jericho? Because what I want to do is I want to align with New Jericho as soon as possible. Liberation from nature, the essence of civilization. Yeah. Fine. Glorifying nature has always been reactionary. Civilization, the Phoenix Project was founded to defend, is precisely the opposite of nature. Human beings breaking the natural pattern of conflict and competition, choosing to think for themselves, to cooperate, to transform, to build. Recognizing the essential brutality and stupidity of the natural world, civilization is the project of setting out to create something better for all. So am I going to go heavy sniper and sniper heavy plus training facilities for days? So I do like the training facilities for days kind of strat. What I try to do is obviously get at least 3 bases as soon as possible. First one, actually, I like to go, it already comes with 1 living quarters and 1 medic bay, but because it's going to be the center of all our operations for so long, I build a 2nd living quarters, 2nd med bay, just so we can double our recovery time to get back out there. One of these blocks will be for alien containment, and why don't I have... I might just go... another fab plant, fabrication plant, and then once we get our 2nd base, because I'm going to have my bases do distinct things, like the 2nd base. If here we go living quarters, med bay, alien containment, fabrication, then the 1st base is for recuperation and for producing things. And the 2nd base can be You know, just one living quarters, one medic bay in case I have to, you know, heal up there. And the rest I'll just spam training facilities in there. And the third one we can see what we need. Trade protocols, they will be useful eventually.
Research complete.
Synedrion. Synedrion is an amalgamation of several political movements with roots in social ecology, anarcho-syndicalism, and similar belief systems. Built on a strong opposition to hierarchy, Synedrion is egalitarian and radically democratic, decisions being made via public assembly. Despite this, certain more prominent individuals do exist, and two streams of thought have begun to crystallize. The polyphonic tendency, who believe that the origin of humanity's dysfunctional relationship with the environment lies in hierarchies of dominance. The terraformers, who believe in putting humans first and are less opposed to the ideas of leadership. Current official goal of Synedrion is finding a way of coexisting with the new. That goal is being then. I'm reading this about anarcho-syndicalism, social economy, and I can't help but think of Dennis the Peasant. Given the bent of my channel, maybe that should be people I should ally with.
A world without hierarchies, without leaders, where human beings could embrace the potential of technology without its destructive side effects. The radicals of the old world had been proven right. The status quo could not sustain itself. But what now? What was the next step? Some argued for coexistence with the Pandoran ecosystem, hoping for a peaceful solution. Others advocated putting humanity before nature and claiming the planet for themselves. Trusting in the safety of their havens, the people of Synedrion argued about the best way forward. But the Pandoravirus had little interest in their arguments, and its power was still growing.
Of the three factions, I like New Jericho the most. Purge the heretic. Glory of the Emperor.
Scan complete.
Okay, our operatives have set down near an abandoned farm. A quick search of the house and the grounds reveals that the place has been picked clean. A lot of flies around, some of them bigger than a human thumb. Portions. There's a large barn about 200 meters from the main building. It might be worth investigating. Hell yeah, search the barn. The closer operatives get to the barn, the more agitated the flies become, swarming in spiral patterns and throwing themselves against our operatives. It's not dangerous at present, but it is exhausting. The barn contains a makeshift lab. One wall is covered by an enormous pulsating organism. Ugh. Seems to somehow control or affect the flies. Our operatives recover as much of the lab equipment as they can before getting out of there. Okay, so tech and materials for a bit of stamina. So the dual class yes is, I think, unsurprisingly very much in vogue now with the way to play the game. I'm tempted to not go for it, but I gotta say, like, I mean, in my offline testing where I went pure class builds, they just weren't powerful enough. And I think what strikes me as the most powerful dual class would be assault and heavy, because then you can dash into position and then unload the entire mag of your weapon into one enemy. Found. I'm just trying to get enough resources to get a second soldier fully outfitted. Excuse me, a fifth soldier fully outfitted. What are we manufacturing? I think these four will have to do for now. Of course, if you guys want to get involved, let me know. Start taking these soldiers. Tunes, Boyd. Now it gets plus 30% accuracy with this Hell 2 cannon. And I'm even going to replace these sets of Odin armor. All but this armor. What do they call it? The Banshee armor. I'm kind of taking too long now.
Research complete.
Phoenix Archives. After covering the base and analyzing the data banks that have been left functional, it is clear that Phoenix Point is now the only operating Phoenix base. Maybe other bases out there, but we will need to find them and bring them back online. There is no sign of Randolph Symes III, but he has left something potentially useful for us.
Randolph Symes was the last leader of the Phoenix Project. His great-grandfather had been there when it was founded, and he was there to witness its end. When we took back Phoenix Point, we found his notes. In his final days, as the world collapsed around him, he'd been working frantically to understand the Pandoravirus. Somewhere, In the complicated history of the project, in decades of missions and investigations, there had to be an answer. His notes were damaged, too many of the files corrupted. But perhaps, if we could retrace his steps, we could figure out where his journey had taken him and what the answers he had discovered would mean for us.
So quickly, on the subject of character builds, I'm beginning to think that maybe we should just do pure classes. I imagine that almost everybody on YouTube and Twitch is doing heavy sniper and heavy assault, just because it is so strong. And doing pure class builds kind of feels damned to fail. But I mean, my channel is not about being good, it's about being interesting. Randolph Symes III's notes indicate the existence of a private retreat owned by the Symes family, used as a place of meditation and research. It may contain information that could help us understand what Symes was trying to achieve in his final days. And the operatives investigate, which we will do. Okay, small town, museum. Turns out it was an automotive museum. Excellent. Tech and materials. Good. I want to find a haven that can give us another soldier. Find feedings based Western Asia. So that's likely to be over here. So we'll start moving that way. What we could do is we could recycle that heavy armor we found.
Research complete.
Trade protocols, thank you. There's a soldier there. I really don't like these berserkers though. Well, what I was kind of going for with my last offline playthrough that I kind of want to try again. Good, here we have a sniper. Excellent. I don't have enough food to get him though. Okay, looks like we're going to have to do a scavenging site to that guy. Got no researchers. So, here's what I'm feeling. Let's go for pure class builds. We know it's going to be suboptimal. But then the interest, hopefully, in the playthrough will be, can we do it? I think it's already established that going, you know, hybrid heavy builds is just the best way to go. Last quick check. L cannon, medkit, sniper rifle, sidearm. What I want to try to achieve is to get allied with New Jericho as soon as possible and get the technician out. The technician is awesome. Particularly because the technician can actually heal your guys up. Can be quite difficult though. We'll see. Once the diplomatic missions start popping up, what can happen, and what happened in an earlier offline campaign was I started in West Asia, went for New Jericho, and then their first diplomatic mission spawned in America. It would have taken me way too long to get across there to do it. So we'll see. Let's see whether we can get the pure class builds to work. Anyway, I lost my dog. Yeah, Gizmo. Okay, guys, this is Gizmo. What do you think, Gizmo? Should we go pure class builds or should we go hybrid? Pure class builds. So let's see whether superior tactics and positioning and fighting, we can make the pure class builds work. The assault guys, when they use their shotguns, when you could basically run and gun and shoot twice, shotgun, it's incredibly powerful.
Let's go.
And I would also point out that it's early, patches are being released all the time. So if this campaign were not to last all that far, not go all the way, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Because that would let us try something else. That's also true. That's very, very true, David, because we are going to have multiple teams, almost certainly. Sure does look similar to XCOM. It's certainly an XCOM homage. Okay, we got ourselves a crab nerd right there, but it's... Oh god, another crab nerd. What's he got? Pincer or gun? Gun. I think I need to take this chance now to destroy the Mist Sentinel while I can. That's the beauty of giving this armor to that class type. Yeah, dude, I'm all about that. Now, where did this nerd see us? Getting eyes on these guys is not going to be easy. I think I'm better off shooting the Mist Sentinel and moving around this way.
I'm ready.
I shot the wrong part of the body. Work.
Moving out.
We're going to lose that crate, but that's fine. In these early missions, losing crates is really not that bad. Like getting through the mission safely. There's actually a fair amount of RNG, which I have found quite frustrating.
On the double.
RNG in terms of what enemies you face and when, in terms of their mutations and what they can do. If at this stage you're fighting the ones that have the grenade launchers, these fights can go tits up so quickly. Like this little one is going to be easy to kill. He doesn't have much armor, he's just got claw. I also found that going for these supply boxes is super important early on. If you get lucky, you can find a weapon in there, and that saves you like 100 and something materials. Okay, please don't get a shot off. Oof. Imagine that hurts. Are you gonna bleed to death? No. I want to start dropping some fire onto that one. I can expect that my sniper will finish this guy off with this pistol.
Let's go.
Need to continue to move up.
Aiming.
Being positioned on the next turn.
Right there.
Go. Oh, this
Ready
place
to
is
engage.
pulling with these things. I'm hoping my heavy can one-shot one of these nerds. Bolt really couldn't get around. Okay. Aid time? Question mark. We know this guy's going to attack that and then destroy. Next turn I can get around, so let's just cover the Overwatch, except that that box is gone. These lads don't have medkits. Solitaire, you need to get healed up on the next turn.
It could be anywhere. Let's go.
This interesting Overwatch system I quite like though.
I'll keep my eyes open.
These little Tritons tend to not be that bad early on. Carry just pistols. This one looks like it's just a melee attacker. Go on, finish him off. Oh, close. Oh god, someone's getting pinched. Just one pinch.
No!
Ow! Great shooting. Right, so beyond third and faith. Here's what happens next. Heal assault lad. What? Oh, wrong assault
Let's
nerd.
go.
This is very messy, but honestly, I'm not concentrating that well. I'm just
Keep it together.
talking about anything other than what I'm supposed to be about here. This hell cannon should be able to one-shot this guy if I hit him in the chest. Oh, and then that exploded the environment, which hurt my troops. I love that about this game. That's so good. Time for the first fail drop of the campaign. I thought about that. So we are going to be needing some rest and recuperation. That's it. Whew, no one died. I do love that environmental effects type thing. And you know, David, your idea about 2 separate squads, I think, is going to be a very good one. And I think the first squad of 6 or 8 troopers will be pure class, and then pure class types, and then the second one will be all mixed classes. So the Manticore can only carry 6, but I hope we can get one of those 8-man carrying aircraft. We can do an 8-man squad, 2 technicians, 2 assault, 2 heavy, 2 sniper. Auto. Brawler I never use. Grenade range and speed. Not going to throw grenades. So the thing is, I don't know whether that's thrown grenade or shot grenade. Although it kind of doesn't matter. I found the grenade launching weapon to be crap. It just doesn't do enough damage. It scatters. It's heavy. It's slow. Ammo's expensive. I mean, it can be nice, but it's indirect fire. Biochemist is terrible on a heavy because he only shoots like mounted weapon proficiency damage. Mounted weapons, maybe. I'm gonna take as few of these abilities as possible because I want to throw them into stats. I want to have a guy that has the highest amount of stats possible. Very strong for high hit points, but most importantly for the heavies is speed, I think. Give it a nice 16 strength and dump everything else into power. As far as weapon proficiency is concerned, yeah, like he needs a one-handed weapon option in case his main two-handed weapon gets disabled. He just carry a few grenades. I mean, it would have been nice to give him pistol specialization, but he doesn't have that specialization. Same with our heavies. What do they have? CQS, that's pretty good. I mean, the thing is, so shotgun and melee weapon proficiency, he's already got shotgun proficiency. But I think of this just as a straight up 20% damage boost for shotguns and melee weapons. And the melee weapons are actually pretty damn good on these guys because they can use the one-handed melee weapons. If one arm gets disabled, then they can still fight. I think we'll pick that up. Bombardier we won't pick up, and Thief I won't pick up. Who's next? Autumn Hermes, resourceful. Quarterback is terrible. Farsighted is actually very good for a sniper. Farsighted, we'll take that. And Elion Paladin Faith. Thief is terrible. Biochemist is actually pretty good on an assault trooper. And Strongman, this is interesting. So 30% bonus damage from Strongmen. So he is certainly going to be one of the combination guys. I mean, it'd be silly to not make him a combo heavy assault because of Strongman. Then when he uses the heavy weapons, he'll get plus 30% bonus damage. I think when he uses that rage ability with plus 30% damage with the Hell Cannon. Amazing. Titan Autopsy, we could do pretty quickly because that will give us the ability to make shotguns, but we're not going to be able to produce them all that quickly. I might as well do that. I'm going to leave the Arthron Autopsy. I don't like the grenade launcher it gives you. What should we manufacture? Another set of a full set of Banshee armor. It costs 320. We've got 620. I'm not kidding when I was saying that I'm eventually gonna give all of my troops Banshee armor.
Research complete.
Generic Delirium Index. Fine, understood. Yada yada yada. Manufacturing though, we need to make another sniper rifle because we are going to go buy this assault trooper we saw here. Then we'll chuck the assault rifle to the top. As soon as that is built and everyone is healed up, we actually add it to the squad. Well, we have to be very careful because we won't be wearing any armor whatsoever. This is tempting. Defending these havens is so good for resources, but we've got our lads quite injured. On the food here. I think let's complete weapons and armor for our first 6 guys. Then we will build out the structures in the base. And maybe the second base. And look to save up all the resources we're going to need for a second squad.
Into this mutation tech, the further away they will move from what New Jericho considers humanity. This is not a threat, but a statement.
Agreed, Tobias.
There is still time to look to reason, not superstition, for solutions. To seek answers in human will, instead of submission to the alien. But that time is running out.
This New Jericho neural tech we've been hearing about. It sounds like a pretty cool technology, really, but has anyone thought about how easily it could be abused by, I don't know, an autocratic leader with delusions of grandeur?
Worrying possibility. Just a weak attempt to fix a deeper problem. New Jericho is a society with laws and principles. There will be no abuse.
You think so? Because to me it seems like these principles never find structural expression and are thrown aside all too easily when it's convenient. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe New Jericho is all you believe it to be. I hope so.
Haven destroyed.
Glorious leader. Ooh, unlucky, Sinidron. Righto, okay, so where are we? 15 hours away from... Okay, sweet. Right. Warden, let's take a look. Sure do, Duckios. They sure do. Eventually the factions are going to like all-out war against each other. Sniper rifle proficiency with 25 damage. That's great for a sniper. He already has the proficiency, but I think of that just as a straight-up 25 flat damage to sniper rifle. And he's got heavy weapons. Okay, so then this dude will be an insane heavy sniper. Plus 25% damage for the sniper. And plus 30% damage for the heavy weapons. Problem is though, he's got -4 to willpower. 20%. It'll remain to be seen whether that's going to be worth it or not to even give him that. Duckios fleshed out, it's hard to say. Yes and no. It's still fun. I've put about 50 hours in so far and enjoyed almost all of it. It's certainly not perfect. It does have issues. You know what? I am just going to go ahead and recycle. Don't like that armor. It's given us more materials. Got a full set of armor coming. We'll do that one more time. Is it not worth building medbay, living quarters? Another manufactory could be good. Fabrication plant. Now we need to get some money in. Keep moving towards Western Asia. We can't for now. I need a mission of some sort to get more materials so I can do my next scan. Not an ideal start. He's running low. We need a mission now. Feels a bit dry. Well, it depends how much you've played Duck Yours. I mean, I understand how that might seem a bit dry right now, early on. Give it time. Damn. Okay, so to recap, let's just get out of this ambush. But we're going to go for at least 2 squads operating simultaneously. We'll have one pure class squad and one hybrid class squad. They'll be operating mixed in the beginning because, as you've seen from our soldiers, some of them will be better suited to being pure class and some of them will be better suited to being hybrid. That guy who's got efficiency, extra damage in sniper and heavy is going to be scary. But bear in mind, I mean, these dual class builds are not without their drawbacks. They tend to have lower stats, so they're not as tough because you can't put as much points into strength. But there, that's 10. Pretty sure I can one-shot this. Got a bit of armor there, interesting. Damn. Oh, and I can't charge forward yet. Come on.
Kill confirmed. Taking aim.
So I really don't like when I'm forced to sort of stand still and just fight. But I want to get the most out of these lads. Here's my heavy. If my heavy could just one-shot one of these guys, that would be big.
Taking aim.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah, wrecked. That's why you give Banshee armor to a heavy.
Identifying target.
Also have left. Sniper. Doesn't have much of a shot. If I improve. That should improve my shot. I'm leaving my guys out in the open and surrounded, but I'm just backing everyone to one-shot this cat. He shot through its armpit and missed it. Ugh. Oh no, we need some good shooting here. Oh, that sniper miss. He jumped through the roof and chose not to shoot at it. Okay, he did. Oof, only one shot. Not too bad. Been way worse. I love is that knowing where this guy is, you can just shoot in there. Blow open the wall. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Is there. I think we can probably open the wall up.
I'm going.
At a minimum, but the projectile should actually go through and kill him. Right there. Oh! Heavy MVP. Bear in mind, these red barrels can explode.
Moving out.
So do be cautious using them as cover points. I think those are the only nerds who are active on the map.
Holding position.
One more turn, and we can just overwatch and then run for the exit.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Best case scenario, we get out of this without any injury. Because all we're going to get out of this is XP. Sometimes you get some extra gear.
Holding position.
That's entirely dependent on what you... There's a little crate that typically isn't all that often. Sometimes the enemies will drop weapons. Right, boys, let's get the hell out of here. Those enemies are far enough away that I don't think we need to be too concerned about cover, but where it's present like that, let's just...
On the double.
What you're seeing here with the high movement of points is one of the advantages of going for a pure class build as well. You don't have to spend so many ability points on abilities. Throw more points into stats. I've also found that offline experimentations where I have built even just a pure class character, like an assault. I gave him all of the assault abilities. I wasn't using all the abilities all the time, which suggests then you skimp on a couple of the abilities, you can throw those into stats and have a guy who's, you know, stronger, so he's got more hit points. He's got more movement, more points into movement, which is especially good for the assault guys. Getting into position means you can bring your weapons to bear more reliably on the enemies. You could just blue move in Overwatch here, but I tend to find that it's not worth it. Get the troops out. Might just get into range now, these Pandorans. Ow! Shoot once, please. We could lose our new sniper here. Daniel Ladden Mortensen, run like hell, my friend. Is that extraction zone? Oh, he can't get out. Phew.
Advancing.
Sounds. Well, don't tell me he can't evacuate because he doesn't have. I get it, David, but like my intuition when I played the first time, and I think it's almost everyone's intuition when you see it the first time. He's, you know, he has an ability. Take it. Well, it's going to be that's going to be part of the experimentation that we're going to do here. Yeah, I mean, like it could be interesting. Like if you can have two assault guys and one who's more stats heavy, one who's more ability heavy. It could be situationally better, you know, depending on how you use them. And that's exactly not what we needed. We're running dangerously low on food. I think these researchers not going to give me. Okay, dash. Hugely important, and I could pick up CQS here, but I don't have a shotgun to give him yet. So, 16, strength 16, and dash costs 4 a will points. Get his willpower up to 8 as soon. Dash twice, so having to recover. Good for a sniper rifle. Body armor is 2 hours away. No, time for this. Good.
Research complete.
The Sentinel is an enigmatic phenomenon, an immobile fungoid structure hosting mutated symbiotes. It produces a complex aerosol with hundreds of different types of microbes, which is basically a concentrated version of the mist coming from the sea. It seems to have a defensive role with proximity of hostile organisms triggering a release of mist in a local area. We see them growing across the land, promoting the transformation of flora and fauna. For what purpose we do not know. No research active. Pandoran evolution. Well, give me a nice little scavenging mission here. Never had food get this low before. Fine. Get the little Synedrion penis machines. Tell me that doesn't look phallic. That's the most phallic looking ever. Okay. 48 minutes. Let's end the first episode here. At the start of the second episode, we have to keep exploring. We probably have like another 4 days left. That's actually plenty of in-game time to keep exploring and to find a gathering mission. Or at least one where we're going to get food as a reward. We'll be okay. Okay, friends, I'm Stobbie149. This is Phoenix Point. Thanks for watching, and I'll